supply chains need to be secured, especially after the 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐻 attack. Now everybody is looking at this part of the business very closely.
Indeed, it's important to secure the business critical applications. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see the slides?
Yes, we're able to see your slides. You can go full screen and start.
Excellent. Okay, then yes. Good morning, good afternoon all. Thank you so much for your time. I'm glad to be here with all of you. My name's Pedro Perez. I'm part of the sales engineering team at Onapsis. I'm covering or supporting the Benelux and MENA regions. And today I would like to show you how to secure your supply chain. In order to do so, we'll cover a couple of key topics, which are going to be the top 3 things to consider when securing your supply chain applications and why application-centric vulnerability management is critical to secure your business. And then I'll go quickly show you a business case. Don't worry, I won't make it so boring, so I hope we'll be fine. Then let's start. First of all, we need to remember that we are going to talk about your business critical applications. So those are, as you already know, the systems applications that are supporting your main business processes and also your operations. Okay, so we don't want anything to happen to those applications. We want to keep them secure. We want to ensure that the business has no disruptions. Okay? Then let's go for the first topic, the 3 things to consider when securing your supply chain. As you already know, those digital transformation projects and programs were already on the way before 2020. In fact, it started a few years before, but with a huge impact, global impact of COVID-19, those digitalization projects accelerated a lot. Especially we have seen it in supply chain, but in many other businesses and industries. Okay. Security is a very important topic when you are addressing these kind of projects, because it's not that you are changing your landscape, you are also changing the way the company is working. But also what we see is that most of the times these kind of projects, and due to business constraints and requirements, are more focused on speed than on security. Okay. Then regarding security, there are many things to consider, but those 3 that we would like to cover with these slides are the 3 that we think that deserve special attention. Okay. The first one is the cloud migration itself. Cloud migration is a great example of a digital transformation project. Many companies already realized about the benefits of the cloud and the flexibility of the cloud. But when moving your business critical applications to the cloud, it requires to secure all the phases of the migration, as well as re-evaluating all the existing security models. And this is extremely important, and we will see now why. Okay, because we have shared responsibility. So you are moving your business critical applications to the cloud. But this has 2 main effects. First of all, you will have pretty much less visibility on your systems running on the cloud. Okay, it's not the same kind of visibility that and control that you have when your systems are running on-prem. But on top of that, and despite your cloud service provider would be in charge of the security from infrastructure perspective, you are still responsible of the data and the application as well, which means that you must ensure that your application is properly configured. You must ensure that you have in place the required user access controls. You must ensure that the segregation of duties is already in place. Okay, but as I mentioned, you have less visibility on those systems. Another very important aspect to consider as well is the interconnected risk. As I mentioned, we are moving our business critical applications to the cloud, but could be that you cannot move them all because some applications may not be supported in the cloud, or mainly because it doesn't make any sense for you to move certain applications to the cloud. Or maybe if you can move all of them, you cannot do it at once. Okay, so at least for a certain period of time, you will have a hybrid landscape with systems on cloud and also systems on-prem. Those systems are interconnected between them. Also, you may have those systems connected to other external systems as well. You may be using SaaS applications. You may be using mobile applications as well. You have your workforce remotely connecting to those systems. You have your suppliers and partners connecting to the systems as well. What happens here is that you are increasing the attack surface, okay? And you are adding more pressure to your business critical applications. So summarizing, what do we have at the end? We have a complete shift on the way we are working and on the way our systems are interconnected, and we have less visibility and understanding on what's going on. Okay? Then this leads us to the next slide, why application-centric vulnerability management is critical. We see that many times in-depth defense model are neglecting or not fully including the application layer. Okay, and this is critical for any application, but is even more critical for your supply chain business critical applications. Just to make an analogy, neglecting the application layer for your business critical applications is like if you have your castle with the thick walls, the high towers, the moat full of water and crocodiles, but you let the main gate open. Okay, if you read the news, you will quickly realize that the majority of cyber attacks executed right now is because they are exploiting vulnerabilities on the application layer. Okay. What also do we see? We see companies that think that because of their business critical applications are behind firewalls or are in the cloud and the service provider is taking care of the perimeter or the infrastructure security, they think that their systems are safe, which is not true, as you could see in the news. And also we see companies that they think that they don't have to bother about it because the threat actors, they do not have knowledge enough to be able to breach into their SAP systems. And this is also not true at all. Okay. On the other hand, we see companies who really are concerned about what's going on the application layer in their business critical applications, but they really cannot handle it properly because there's a lack of visibility on what's going on. Okay, for example, regarding your SAP, most of the times what we see is that you have basis team taking care of the SAP systems, but they are already busy enough keeping the systems up and running, avoiding unexpected downtime and avoiding, by extension, disruptions of the business, trying to get the systems with good performance and so on. Okay, so they are already pretty busy. They do not have too much time to focus on any security issues. You also have at the same time the InfoSec team who would like to have visibility on the SAP applications, but they just do not speak Japanese language. They do not fully understand what's going on. Also, usually the CM tools that you may have in place do not have the capability to read and get proper information from the SAP logs. Okay, so again, is lack of visibility and understanding on what's going on. Therefore, what the companies try to do, they get some third-party apps in order to try to gain some more visibility, but at the end, they end up with a ton of applications and getting just bits and pieces of information from each and every one of them, but they don't have the clear picture. Also, we see that companies try sometimes to rely on manual processes for reviewing logs or for reviewing custom code, but this is just not feasible. I mean, reviewing manually SAP logs is just crazy. And also, if you have a huge amount of development going on, it's just impossible to be able to check your custom code. Okay. So again, there's this need, very specific need to be able to cover the application layer, especially regarding business critical application, but we have this problem of lack of understanding and lack of visibility on what's going on. This brings us to the case study, and I would like to briefly explain you how we, Onapsis, could help one of our customers in one of these situations. This is a Fortune 500 apparel manufacturer, $5 billion revenue, 15,000 employees worldwide, offices in 3 continents. They were expanding geographies and they needed to deploy additional SAP systems in order to cover these new regions. And they decided to go to SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud instead of deploying SAP instances on-prem locally, okay, which makes perfectly sense. The main problem they had is that they had no visibility at all on the systems running on HANA Enterprise Cloud. And therefore, the main concern of the CISO was, due to this lack of visibility, they were unable to perform proper risk assessment and risk management, and they were therefore also unable to assess the impact of those risks on the supply chain and the business. Okay. Then we support them with one of our modules. I'll show you in the next slide what Onapsis platform is capable to do. But we deployed for them Onapsis Assess, which is the vulnerability management module. With Onapsis Assess, they were able to gain the visibility and understanding they needed on their systems running on SAP Enterprise, SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud. And therefore, they were able to ensure that those systems were in line with the same security baselines than the rest of the SAP landscape running on-prem. On top of that, and thanks to the high degree of automation that the Onapsis platform can provide, the security team was able to reduce the time spent in vulnerability management by 40 hours per week, which is indeed quite a lot. And last but not least, I would like to show you the Onapsis platform. Onapsis platform has 4 modules: assess, defend, control and comply. Assess is about vulnerability management. Defend is about continuous threat monitoring. Control is about DevSecOps, is about taking care of your custom code and your transports. And comply is about continuous compliance and automating the audit. With these 4 modules, we are able to provide full visibility on what's going on in our customers' business critical applications. Doesn't matter if they are on-prem or in the cloud. Okay, so again, it's about understanding and having visibility on the risks, being able to mitigate them, and being able to assess the impact on the business. Okay? Our platform is fueled by our research labs. We have the largest research labs in the industry. Thanks to our contribution to the cybersecurity community, we gained the SAP Endorsed App Premium certification. Okay, and because thanks to our labs, we have been able to discover and report more than 800 zero-day vulnerabilities for SAP and Oracle Enterprise Business Suite as well. Okay, and also thanks to our research labs, our platform is constantly being updated. Okay, platform is updated twice per month at least. And then our customers are always enjoying the latest threat intelligence, the latest checks, the latest updates on policies, and so on. Okay, another nice thing to know is that we can provide already lots of features and capabilities out of the box. For example, regarding assess, the main SAP assessment for vulnerability management already has around 1,000 checks. Regarding defend, we are already providing out of the box more than 2,500 detection rules. Regarding comply, we already are able to provide out of the box more than 15 policies. Regarding ISO, GDPR, SAP security, baseline, SOX, and many others. Okay, so again, and related to the whole presentation, this is always about being able to know what's going on your business critical applications in order to be able to protect them. Thank you so much for the opportunity of presenting today here and to speak to all of you, and looking forward to get in touch with you and have deeper conversations. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you so much.